In vitro fertilization is credited with helping create 8 million families worldwide, allowing parents who once didn't think it was possible to have children of their own. At the same time, a trend circulating through state legislatures is causing concern for those undergoing the treatment.
WHO 13's Lindsay Burrell has more about the bills creating this debate about unborn persons and how it could still impact Iowans.
Jacqueline and James Brock welcomed their baby girl Eloise back in January after years of infertility treatments and heartbreak.
Yeah, so it's about 6.5, 7 years that it took us to have her. So it was a very long journey. It was very emotional and hard.
Countless rounds of treatment and tens of thousands of dollars later, finally a positive pregnancy test, which was followed by a life-threatening delivery and an emergency C-section that went horribly wrong.
But after my C-section, they realized that I was hemorrhaging severely. I was in the ICU for a week. At that time, I had 27 blood product units that they had to put in my body. So I'm very thankful the people that I had that essentially saved my life.
But after she was home and resting with her baby girl, a new anxiety plagued Jacqueline when the Alabama Supreme Court ruled that frozen embryos created through IVF were considered children. This decision ultimately halted IVF treatments in the state as doctors feared prosecution for discarding unwanted embryos.
Because as patients and physicians' clinics are concerned, is that they can put some of these laws into place, and then that can make patients and doctors criminally liable for mishandling embryos, damage to an embryo, which can just happen when you go to thaw them, or even criminal charges for wrongful death.
And those concerns became real for Iowans in March when the Iowa legislature introduced House File 2575, a bill that would increase penalties for causing the death of or serious injury to an unborn person. But the bill had no language surrounding embryos created via IVF like the bill originally passed in Alabama.
We've had a lot of panicked patients calling. What is going on with my embryos? Am I going to be able to use them? Just ultimate anxiety and panic happening just because of starting with the Alabama issue and then now with our Iowa House with what the law they tried to put into place. It's just created unnecessary anxiety for people.
I was just frustrated and I was upset. I couldn't believe that they would try to mimic something that Alabama just tried to do that obviously didn't work, and now we're trying to bring it to my home state. And I think the first thing I felt was I was so upset for the people that were currently going through IVF.
The bill would have made the unintentional death of an unborn person a Class B felony, punishable up to 25 years in prison, and intentional death of an unborn person a Class A felony, which requires a mandatory life sentence.
Because when you grow embryos in an incubator, not all of them will survive the 5 days to where you put them back in or do the testing. So you get the eggs out, combine the eggs with the sperm in a dish to create the embryos, and then we incubate those in the lab for 5 days. Some of the embryos always peter out in the dish due to genetic issues or whatever. So what you hope for is at the end of that 5 days is that you have a few embryos to choose from.
Lawmakers were divided when the bill was introduced.
What a tragedy it would be for all Iowans if what has come to pass in Alabama comes to pass here, because as written, this bill does not explicitly protect IVF and sets a precedent with new language of unborn person.
This bill should have took 2 minutes. Sometimes you hear things and you see things and you can't wrap your head around the madness. Mr. Speaker, it's a simple bill, and I move it.
And it directly affects IVF, 100%. And the fact that they're thinking that it has no effect on anything like IVF is horrible. They obviously don't know the process of IVF. They obviously don't know anyone that's gone through IVF, and they really need to educate themselves on the process and what it means.
Yeah, and they don't understand the science behind all of this, And the interesting thing is they don't reach out either. None of them call us or the University of Iowa and say, hey, can you explain this to me? You never hear from them. They just do this on their own without even asking for some education on the issue.
What I do understand about it is it needed work. The IVF part specifically needed work. You know, we were kind of doing the opposite of what Alabama just rushed into session to do, which was allow IVF. And we just thought, you know, it came over fairly late, and we just thought that bill is not ready for prime time. We're going to put it on the shelf and move on.
And for women like Jacqueline with additional embryos, that's a huge relief. Otherwise, she could risk prosecution or her life.
Really, my only option is to transfer the embryo and pray that it does not work so that I don't get pregnant and go through that again. But I was excited that it was, you know, it wasn't going to be a stress anymore.
Lindsay Burrell reporting for us tonight. While House File 2575 is shelved for this session, advocates and physicians say for IVF and embryos, it should be protected if that proposal returns to the legislature next year.